Hello students, today we will discuss about the IUPAC nomenclature. We have already discussed name of straight chain hydrocarbon. Now we will discuss a branch chain hydrocarbon is named using the following general IUPAC rules. So we will discuss about the general rules of IUPAC. A branch chain hydrocarbon is named following general IUPAC rule. First rule is longest chain rule. In longest chain rule, we select the longest possible continuous chain of carbon atoms. If some multiple bond is present, the chain selected must contain the multiple bond. So in case of longest chain, firstly we have to select a long carbon chain which is continuous. That is, suppose if we have got that organic or carbonic compound, that is CH3 CH, CH3, CH2, CH2 and CH3. Suppose if we have got that type of organic compound and we have to nomenclature of that organic compound, then firstly we will choose a long carbon chain, and or we can say that our longest carbon chain. So when we follow this rule, then that type of rule is known as longest chain rule. So in this organic compound, we can see that a longest carbon chain is, because here the possibility of two carbon chain, first is this and second is this. If we talk about first chain, then in first chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbon atoms are present, but in second chain is also 5 carbon atoms are present. So we can choose any of following two carbon chain. But if the organic compound is that, here the possibility of selection of carbon chain is that firstly we can choose that carbon chain, and in that carbon chain 6 carbon atoms are present, and the second possibility is this. In second carbon chain we can see that only 5 carbon atoms are present. So we will choose the first carbon chain in which 6 carbon atoms are present, because it is a longest carbon chain rule, and in longest carbon chain rule we have to select that type of carbon chain in which more carbon atoms are present. So here we will choose first carbon chain in which 6 carbon atoms are present. And suppose if we have got other example, then we will choose that carbon chain in which 6 carbon atoms are present. But if double bond or triple bond is present in organic compound, then we have to use that carbon chain in which multiple bond is present. For example, so in this organic compound we will use that carbon chain in which multiple bond is present, and in this organic compound double bond is present, so we will use organic that carbon chain. And the number of carbon atoms is the selected chain determines the word root, which we have already discussed, and the saturation or unsaturation determines the primary suffix, and alkyl substituents are indicated by prefix. So if we have select that carbon chain, then we can see that that organic compound is divided into three parts. First, word root. For this type of organic compound, word root will be pant because 5 carbon atom is present. So word root is pant. And second is saturation or unsaturation because saturation and unsaturation determine the primary suffix, which is alkane, alkene or alkyne. Because double bond is present between two carbon atoms, that's why primary suffix will use "-ine". And last, al- alkyl substituent. When we choose any carbon chain, then some of carbon chain are present outside of selected carbon chain, and that type of group which are present outside of carbon chain, that are known as alkyl substituent if carbon is present, and it is indicated by prefix. So in this organic compound we can see that only methyl group, that is CH3 group, is present outside of chain. So for this CH3 we can use methyl as as prefix, and word root will use pant, and primary suffix is "-ine". So the IUPAC name of that compound is 2-methyl 4-methyl. For 5 carbon we will use pant, 4-methyl pant, 2-ine. Another example is CH3 CH CH3 CH2 CH CH2. For this organic compound we will choose firstly a longest continuous carbon chain, that is that carbon chain in which number of carbon atoms more number of carbon atoms are present, and that carbon chain is known as parent carbon chain. And in parent carbon chain 7 carbon atoms are present, so for that organic compound we will use hept as word root, and CH3 group 2 CH3 groups are present outside of parent carbon chain, so for prefix we will use methyl. And only single bond is present between carbon and carbon, so for primary suffix we will use "-n". Now second rule for IUPAC nomenclature is lowest number rule. Rule 2, lowest number rule. In lowest number rule, the chain selected is numbered in terms of Arabic numericals, and the position of the alkyl group are indicated by the number of the carbon atom to which alkyl group is attached. So we will numbering the carbon chain from that side in which subsequent groups are present nearer. For example, if we have got that organic compound Then in this organic compound we can see that from longest carbon chain, firstly we will select a long carbon chain, and the second rule in which we have to number the carbon chain, we will number the carbon from that side in which substituent groups are present nearer. So we will number the carbon chain from left hand side, and if we have got another example, then firstly we will select a long carbon chain, and from second rule we will number the carbon chain from right hand side because methyl group is present in second carbon. The numbering is done in such a way that the substituent carbon atom has the lowest possible number. If some multiple bond is present in the chain, the carbon atoms involved the multiple bond should get lowest possible number. And if there is a possibility that multiple bond, and we can say that double bond or triple bond is present between carbon and carbon, then we will number the carbon chain from that side in which double bond or triple bond are present nearer. We will give the priority for multiple bonds. For example, firstly we will select longest carbon chain, and now we have to number the carbon chain. We will number from that side in which double bond is present nearer. So we will number from right hand side. Now third point is of use of prefix, di, tri, etc. If the compound contains more than one similar alkyl group, their positions are indicated separately, and an appropriate numerical prefixes, that is di, tri, etc., is attached to the name of the substituent. The positions of the substituents are separated by commas. For example, suppose if they have got organic compound, then firstly we will select longest carbon chain, and then we will number the carbon chain, and methyl group is present in second and third carbon atom, so we will use 2 and 3 because two methyl groups are present and both are same substituent groups, so we will use di as prefix. So we can write 2,3 dimethyl pentane. Alphabetical arrangement of prefix. If there are different alkyl substituents present in the compound, their names are written in the alphabetical order. However, the numerical prefixes such as di, tri, etc. are not considered for the alphabetical order.